What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr War Games, and before the Poker Nights come out and changes the gods completely, I thought I'd give you guys the current build, which I feel like, again, until the Poker Nights come out, within a week of recording this video, probably not a week when it gets uploaded, and that is the Numeron. So this is God Numeron. This is the most competitively viable, but probably like the most popular competitively viable way to play the Egyptian gods, just because the Numeron package does so much for the deck. It gives you an alternate win condition that just naturally plays on its own with one card. It gives you free tributes fodders for the Egyptian gods. It gives you consistency in the forms that you can play things like the numbers spell that lets you draw for every number you control. It does a lot for the deck. It gives you link material to go to things like Yugioh, to dig through your deck even more, so on and so forth. You'll see how it does well within the deck profile, how I personally constructed the build to get the best of both worlds. So before I get into all of that, if you enjoy, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy a person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that, and all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this God Numeron deck profile. There's so many ways I'm trying to play the gods at the moment. I'm even thinking of God's Sacred Beast, which is, that's going to be fun to put together. So to start off with the Egyptian gods themselves, we have 3 copies of Slifer the Sky Dragon, 1 Obelisk the Tormentor, and the 1 Winged Dragon of War. I've gone for this ratio because ultimately Slifer is the best god personally, because Slifer has both the attack power that you can get within this deck through things like the Memories of Hope and Yugioh Skull Dread, but he also has the best lockdown effect of all the gods, preventing your opponent from essentially link summoning anything that's link 3 or below, because it's just going to blow up. Being able to reduce anything in attack mode by 2,000 points, and if it goes to 0, it dies. Essentially anything that again is below link 3 is just going to instantly be destroyed, because they are all less than 2,000 points, right, 2,000 or less, and so it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. It forces your opponent to summon defense mode, which means they can't just carelessly attack. As long as Slifer has at least 2,000 plus attack, he's going to be sitting there fine and dandy. I kept Obelisk in here. It's just a natural 4K beat stick that you can get onto the board, and Ra, because I feel like Ra support spells are just too good to not play in a god-centric deck, giving you additional normal summons, giving you a consistent god in the hand. Ra just can do a lot of damage as well in one turn. You will at least be able to bring him out with 3,000 attack because of your number monsters, so it's all good from there. I played the 1 Guardian Slime and the 3 Reactor Slimes, along with the 1 Metal Reflect Slime as well to go along with him. This gives you free tribute fodder that isn't just in the forms of the Numeron cards. Guardian Slime also gives you pseudo consistency in the forms of your Ra support, as well as protection as well. I'm mainly playing as a 1-off tech just because it's not the heart and soul of the deck, and I feel like when playing it like that, it does work very nicely, and so I just enjoy it like doing that. Then we go to Numeron package of the 3 obvious Numeron rules, your 3 Numeron networks, your 2 Numeron callings, your 1 terraforming, your 1 set rotation, 1 metaverse, and I played the 1 Mound of the Bound Creator as well to go along with it. I thought it's just the best way to show off the Numeron package. It's just one big hole. You're bound to have network Like, you have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 ways to get to Numeron network. Like, you're bound to have it in play going any turn. You should have network in play. And once you have that network in play, your deck then just starts rolling. You get out your OTK, or you get out your tribute fodder for the gods. You get your link fodder. Like, it does so much for the deck. I play 2 callings just so I can at least resolve the card twice. One for tribute fodder and one for OTKs, and so on forth. Like, all that. The reason I've gone for Man the Baron Creator as the field spell tech for set rotation, it just gives the gods another form of protection if you're not just focusing on the network. If you feel like network's done its thing, you can at least then just play Man the Baron Creator and then give your god that protection to go for the game. So that's my reasoning behind all of this. Continuing on, we have the 2 copies of Memories of Hope to go with our Numeron package. This gives you draw power. You don't want to play 3 of it because that just then clogs. You will have those hands where you have Memories of Hope and you just can't resolve it. You can only resolve once a turn, so on and so forth. So I feel like 2 copies is just perfectly fine. 3 copies of Soul Crossing. This is probably like the best, second to best, like, or probably the best, arguably the best support spell for the Egyptian gods. Just giving you a tribute fodder because your opponent gives you the tribute fodder. It being a quick player as well just makes it that 10 times better. It's just so good. I really love Soul Crossing. Like, it allows you to splash a god in essentially any deck as long as your deck has the space for it. Like, I just love this card so much. The only issue I have is that you can't also summon wicked gods with it. I kind of wish it allowed you to do that as well. But either way, I love Soul Crossing. Then we have 2 copies of Ancient Chant. It's just a consistent way to get a god into your hand, being Dragon of Ra, and allowing you to give Ra the attack points of the monsters you use to sacrifice. It's just too good. Imagine comboing this with Soul Crossing. It's like, yep, cool. Thanks for the attack boost as well. Then we have the 1 Thunder Force attack. This is another form of pseudo draw power, but also board wiping potential as well. I feel like if you go over 2 copies, you're just asking to brick. And I like the 1 copy because of how far we can dig through our deck. 1 copy of Harvest Feather Duster to clear off the back row. 1 copy of Call by the Grave to clear off those hand traps. And then we do play actual traps as well, just to stun our opponent while we're setting everything up. 3 copies of Solemn Strike, 3 copies of Solemn Judgment, and 2 copies of Paleozoic Dynamiscus. This card is also pretty good because you do have some normal traps in the deck. So being able to summon itself back as a monster as well is pretty handy. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra. The extra deck is kind of self-explanatory and kind of simple. I play 2 copies of God Slime. You can arguably just play 1. Like, you don't even need the second one. Like, you're just constantly going to get the first one back probably. Like, once you've done it once, is pretty much it. Though we can constantly reset Metal Reflect Slime, so that's probably an argue to say, yeah, play 2 at least. For the Numons, we're playing 1 Numeron Chaos Gate Sonya, and then we essentially, I'm just going to lay it out like this. I do apologize. 2 copies of each 1 to 4 Numeron gates. You want to play at least 2 in this particular build because you can. I'm playing 2 callings. The more callings you have, the more copies of this you play. And then for the last 4 cards in the extra deck is 1 copy of Skuldred for the draw power going first, 1 copy of Fortress Megalops if you just want to have a giant beat stick. I'm still playing the Almirage just as an easy link one to go into, but then you also have the Link Rebo for your gates as well. And that, guys, is the deck. So simple, self-explanatory. Like, there's nothing to mind crazy shenanigans for this deck. It's just literally you play gods, you play Numeron, and then you just go from there. Like, the 2 synergize very well and very easily with each other, and you can build it however you want. If you want it to be more VAR focused, you then just put in more VARs and more VAR support. If you want it to be more Obelisk, you just put in more Obelisks. Like, it's literally just how it goes. I went with Sniper just because Sniper going first in combo with everything else is just very tough for your opponent to get over with. So, like, Sniper with back row backup, while also wiping your opponent's board, is just too good. So guys, that's it. Stay tuned for the channel because there will be other variants of gods. I'm just constantly working on the gods now, as I mentioned earlier. I'm even thinking of doing a Sacred Beast build. I've got skeleton in the process, and it's working really well. It's very, very fun. And then we got the obvious poker knights coming out, Jacks, King, Queen. They just naturally support the deck. Like, they even give them a rotor, which is just fantastic. So again, guys, hope you all enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, happy dueling.